Good evening, folks. This is K5LYN. My name's Lynn. I'm in Austin. We get together here on Wednesday evenings and talk about the early days of single sideband. Most of us are on vintage vacuum tube radios. Other folks are on hybrids. And if you're on a modern radio, you're also welcome here, too, because we're inviting anybody that's interested in what we are doing to participate. Buy-sell trades are appropriate if they're vintage radio related. And if you have a technical question about a radio you're working on, this is a great place to ask for advice because there's a tremendous amount of expertise present here. Tonight I'm on a Central Electronics 10A, which was recently celebrated by K5's EF's Nick Tusa's biography of Wes Shum, America's amateur radio's unsung hero. I've got that book here on the shelf and copied it and put the picture up on the wall as a photograph. And this radio was put together by Wes Shum in the basement of his house in Chicago, probably in about 1951. And as far as I know, the oldest radio that's ever used for net control these days. And it's always my pleasure to put it on here. I'm going to talk to about 7 or 8 people. Then we'll give it to Jay, then we'll give it to Nick, and we'll get everybody picked up. If you were early and you got forgotten about, come in and let us know, because we'd like to try and pick up the earlies first, and we'll take check-ins from the outside. So, hey, Bob, I'm going to pick up you, and I'm going to pick up TXW, DR, WOZ, and MOK at least. CXG. Hey, Bob, talk to us. K5LYN.
We'll do that. K5CXG, San Angelo. We're under possible fire conditions. It sure looks we could sure get one if everything was right. It is very dry, and the wind's blowing pretty good, 20-something miles an hour with gusts into the 30s, and it's scary. Anyway, on the 830 with the Dentron GLA 1000 and a Mertz tuner and an antenna waving around in the wind at about 19 feet off the ground, and that's what we got, and we're hearing everybody extremely well in spite of all that. So everybody have a good week. Catch y'all later down the road. K5CXG.
Sounding really good, Bob. Great to hear you tonight. TXW, George.
Hello, Lynn, and all around the net from WB5TXW for the finest hour of amateur radio for the week. So I'm here on the S line, 32S1, 75S, 3030L1, the power supply, the speaker box, all lined up on the library table I bought from Bob, I think in 1979. And of course the radios all have wings on them, so you know they work better. Sure 444, the usual dipole through the oak woods. And I can guarantee you, we've had more oak pollen on the ground the last few days than rain. WB5TXW, over.
Yes, sir, we have. Windshield of my car was pretty well covered in yellow the other day. So, and I read in the newspaper that this is a record year for pollen from the oak trees for some weird reason. All right, George, you're sounding great. Let's move on down the road. Hey, KK5DR, what about it, Matt? K5LYN.
Well, here I am. This is Kilo 5 Delta Radio, and not on a vintage transceiver tonight. I'm on my ICOM 7610, but I guess you could consider the amplifier behind it vintage at 32 years old. It's the ICOM 4KL, and it's been going strong for about 32 years now. The only time it went down is when the original power supply died in it, and I replaced it with an industrial commercial power supply, and it's been going ever since. And my most reliable solid state amplifier. So turned 32 years old. I do have older stuff in the system. There's some date codes of 1946 on some parts out in the antenna coupler, and doing about 1,200 watts out. So that's about all we're doing tonight there, Lynn. Thank you much. KK5DR.
Hey, probably everybody knows it but me. What tube's in that amplifier, Matt?
It's a solid state. It's a solid state amp.
At that age, really?
Yeah, it's ICOM's big KW amplifier, and it's got 8 devices in it, and pretty good design. It seems to hold up.
Well, that's a long time ago for a solid-state amp that big, isn't it?
No, solid-state devices are said to have a 50-year lifespan.
Okay. It's clearly doing a nice job for you. Thanks for bringing me up to date there. I wasn't aware of that. All right. Let's move it on down the road. Hey, Dan, WOZ, talk to us.
Yeah, good evening, Lynn and everybody else on the Boat Anchor Net. This Dan in the middle of Houston, where there's more pine pollen than I've ever seen in my life. I've never had allergies up until today, and it's strange. I didn't realize that's what it was till I had this constant little cough, And once I got out away from town, away from this area, it cleared right up. So I know for a fact that's what it is. Of course, then there's some guys doing yard work at the neighbors over here that get their blowers going. And it looks like downtown Los Angeles with a green sky, Oh, my gosh. Anyway, talking on the Kenwood 830 that I fixed up, the thing is in beautiful shape. Bought it from Danny a while back, but it's just pride and joy here. The thing's such a gorgeous radio. I'd put a lot into it to get it working properly, but it's okay. And the amplifier's the 3813's running about 1,250 watts right now. I've been working on a Kenwood 922 that's been blown up a couple of times, and getting closer. Got the new band switch in and rebuilt the resistor board with all the shunts and everything. There was a hole in there about the size of a dime, but we're gaining on it. I got a little bit of idling plate current. I stuck some 4400s in it, but I haven't gotten any RF through it yet, so maybe tomorrow we'll do that. Nothing else from here. Looking forward to a couple of sidewalk sales coming up. That's it. KWOZ. Thank you, Liz.
Outstanding, Dan. Good to hear you tonight. Sounds like some great projects in the works there. Okay, I'm going to call MOKWLF, and then I'm going to jump to K5EF. Let's see if we can get the folks down in that order. Hey, MOK, Mike, where you at? K5LYN.
Okay, yeah, I'm right here now. Yeah, it's Mike Kilgore, N5MOK. Talking on TS520, a regular 520 with MC60 mic, amplified, and driving about 50 watts into my SB220, getting about maybe 900 watts, something like that. But other than that, everybody's sounding real good signals tonight. N5MOK.
Mike, I'm finding it quiet here, too. I usually complain about the noise here in the spring in Austin, but it's remarkably quiet here now, and I'm really pleased at that, and everybody's got a great signal, and you're doing just fine into Austin here. Okay, Mr. Jimmy, WLF, talk to us, K5LYN.
Okay, thank you, Lynn, and good evening, everybody. I'm talking on my same old FT101ZD, and right now, let's see, good grief. Yeah, there we go. But anyways, it's doing about 100 watts or so into an off-center fed dipole. And I'm using a D104, an amplified D104, but it's just barely cracked open. And it seems to work for me. Hey, at Belton, I bought another boat anchor, but it's not a boat anchor, but it was made in 1980 and or 81, somewhere around there. It's a ICOM IC701, and I got it, and it was made with the power supply, and the guy that had bought it new had put it away in his garage and left it there for 15 years until he passed away this last year. It was drug out, and I bought it out of his estate, and guess what? It still talks full power, and it doesn't have any scratches anywhere on it, so it's quite a find. Maybe I can find somebody out there that's a new ham or something that would like to have a radio that don't have a whole bunch of buttons to push or menus or anything like that. Anyway, Good evening to the net. I enjoyed hearing everybody this evening, and I'll be back if I can next Wednesday. KC5WLF, back to the net.
Hey, Jimmy, do you have any idea off the top of your head about what year that 701 dates to?
Yeah, it's about 1980.
Okay.
And it's also got a controller with it, a special controller that you control the direct entry and the scans and stuff. And the same controller will go with a VHF radio, the ICOM IC722 or something like that. VHF radio, but it'll set up scans, and also it's got a built-in encoder for the dual-band ICOM radio. But it's just like new. He packed it away, and it's in the boxes and everything, so quite a nice rig to look at.
Comment?
Go ahead, Jay.
Yes, sir. Also on that rig, there's one thing different from normal rigs. The power supply does not have a regulator in it. The regulator for the voltage coming in from the power supply is in the radio itself. So, or is it? I'm trying to think. There's a deal there where you can't use that. You don't want to hook it up without to a different power supply. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, it does have the power supply with it, and the matching boxes that fit inside the original ICOM shipping box with the original ICOM power mic that comes with it, which is the SM2 microphone that goes with it. I'll tell you what, it will modulate over 100 watts, well over 100 watts as well.
Yeah, that's a good old rig. His neighbor, he's long since silent, Keith had one that I picked up when I did his estate a long time ago, but they're pretty cool rig. Back to you, Lynn.
Interesting stories there. All right, guys. Hey, let's see if K5EF is down there somewhere. What up in Nick, K5LYN?
Hey, Lynn, this is K5EF. Yeah, I'm copying you guys, but man, it is some noisy over here. So I hope you're copying me okay. But in any event, I'm running the KWM2 today in the 30L1. I'm a little bit upgraded. I'm using one of these AOR VFOs. It's a digital VFO for the S-Line and the KWM2. So I'm trying that out tonight. And I have nothing really new to report. The QFD and the May issue is going to have a review on my book, Wes Shum, Amateur Radio's Unsung Hero. I've got it already, and they did a really nice job. So in any event, that's it. Nothing else. 73. See y'all next week. K5EF.
Well, you did a very nice job on the book, Nick, and the stories of Wes in the early days and how he came to be married and how quickly they did it in those times is incredible. That was a different world in those days. But the story of this radio that I'm on right now is in there, and it's great reading. Great to hear you, Nick. Anything else for the group this evening?
No, your 10A sounds really good. I guess that's why single sideband made such a big splash, huh?
Yeah, and the two transformers you sent me for this when one of them failed solved a lot of problems that time. I was on double sideband. We're back in the game tonight. All right, let's see here. Jay, let me tell you who I've got here. I got N5JJI, I've got N5OJB, WB1E, WW9W, W5FPT, KE5Q, WA5IGG, WA5EDX, and W5DPP, and maybe that's it there. No, I got W5DK Don. So you guys fight for the next group. K5LYN. Over to you, Jay.
Okay, Lynn. I missed the two after FTP.
Okay, that was KE5Q Jim and WA5IGG Adolf.
Okay, all right. I'm writing. Just a second.
A contact.
Okay. All right. right, hello everybody. This is Jay, KM5QS. I'm in Alice, Texas. And tonight I'm on my trusty old Kenwood TS820S using the R820 as a receiver. Got them hooked up in transceive, and it is a very fine receiver. And a 922 to boost the output a little bit. And like that, coming to you with about 1,200 watts or so. And homebrew antenna, 160 meter dipole, homebrew antenna tuner. We call it Frankenstein. And it is ugly, but it works. All right, I'll just start out with what Lynn gave me there. So Ed, JJI, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Jay, and good evening to the group, N5JJI. I'm back on my old HW101, driving it with a Shure 505C hand microphone into SB201, doing about, probably 400 or 500 watts. Out the window to an inverted V, and that's the ball game in New Braunfels. Back to you, Jay. KM5QS N5JJI.
All right, Ed. Yeah, it looks like I went down the band just a hair. If I can move, I will. You're sounding good, though. You were on frequency. I think it's me that drifted a tight. Whoops. Trying to adjust right now. That ought to be a lot closer. Thank you, Ed. Okay, OJB, Denver.
All right, this is N5OJB, Denver, Gonzales, Texas. And tonight I'm talking to you on a set of Collins S-Line, winged emblems. I've got the 32S1, 75S1, and the 312B4 console with a speaker in it. And I'm driving a poor little old Clipperton L weak-kneed outfit. Just barely will get 1,200 watts out of it. Lying to you a little. And into an inverted V fan dipole, homemade, and using the Shure 444 black desk mic on it. I want to be sure you know that that's black desk mic. I guess I'll turn it back to you, Jay. N5OJB, weakest station in the nation.
No, you used to be. Then you got a Collins. Anyway, Denver sounding great as usual. We'll talk to you after a while. All right, Whiskey Bravo, 1 Echo, Mr. Doug.
Yeah, hello, Jay, and everybody on the Boat Anchors Net tonight. This is Doug, WB1E, located just outside of downtown Reliance, better known as in the outskirts of Bryan, Texas. And the old glow of tungsten light, 6-volt light, with this time it's a good connection. It's not blinking. It's not sending me CW. It's all sideband tonight. And Lynn, that rig you have, your stuff always sounds great. And Jay, your rig always sounds good too. Actually, I'm looking at an S6 noise level tonight, and this has got to be a record low for evening. That just makes everybody sound that much better. So the Swan 500 is the regular old boat anchor protege. Lately, it's been a while since I've run anything else. And the microphone is it's a brushed aluminum, as every fixture in my entire house has. It's an Electro Voice 638, and it's running. It's not running twin lead. It's actually coaxial cable going into the transceiver J. So, and also going up with some high efficiency RG213 up to the homemade inverted V at about 90 feet. So, hello. It looks like I'm only doing a 330 watts PEP tonight. So that's the long and short of it. And Jim, I hope that Swan 500 that Byron is looking at for you. Maybe I can slip one of those fancy 12AX7s, I can roll one down your way. So you can sound really nice like all Swan 500 should. All right, Jay, take it back, and everybody 7-3.
Okay, Doug. Well, I think at least 329 of those watts are getting down here because you sure are. You're loud in here. Well, I do have the headphones on, but even so, no, it always sounds good. All right, Robert, WW9W.
All right, Jay. Good evening to you, Lynn, Doug, everybody. Good evening to the entire crew. Robert here in Allen, running the old KWM2 with the 3001 312B, Shure 522 with a 444 element in the microphone. Looks like about 600, 700 watts going into the Ultimac double bazooka, dual band 8040. So we got here, Jay, appreciate it. Once again, enjoyed seeing you a couple weekends ago. Had a great time as usual. Looking forward to October. So, back to you, and good luck. We'll see you in a little bit. WW9W.
Okay, Robert. Yeah, it was fun down there. It always is. I'm looking forward to October, too. Maybe it'll be a little bit cooler or something. I don't know. I hate to wish for it to be cooler because then it'll probably freeze up. But anyway. All right. Thank you, sir. Checking in. Let's see. Forever paying taxes. I think that's W5FTP. Terry, go ahead.
No, it's Paul.
Oh, it's Paul. Dang it.
Jay and everyone on the net TV.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I got that name mixed up, but go ahead, Paul.
Okay, no, this evening we're on the 520S. Microphone's a Shure 621L, and we're running a little solid state amplifier behind it, doing about 500 watts. So that's the story here, Jay. Good to hear from you, and everyone's sounding good. Back to you.
All right, thank you, sir. Well, it's everybody's sounding great tonight, you included. So, and I'm pretty sure old Jim's going to do the same thing. KE5Q.
Well, I hope so. KM5QS. This is Kilo Echo 5 Quebec in Plano, and we're running the same rig we ran last week. It's the SB104 Alpha, and that is going into the boat anchor, which is the SB200, the one I built in college many years ago. We're using the Shure 444 going into the Ultimax 8040. And appreciate everybody calling the net. And Doug, Byron's going to take a look at that for me one of these days, and it's going to be hard to ever get it to sound anywhere as good as you sound, I can tell you that. That 500 just sounds great. KM5QS, KE5Q.
All right, Jim. Well, yeah, Doug, I don't know what it is. He does something to them. I have to find out if that's illegal or not. Probably not, but anyway. You always sound good too, Jim. No problems. Alrighty, let's see. It's Adolph's turn. WA5 IGG, I believe. Or something like that. Adolph, you in there?
You have the call right, Jay. He must have blown a fuse or something.
Okay, well, we'll try him again before we pass it to Rusty, see if he's back. That puts me down to WA5EDX, Byron.
Yeah, Jay. Good evening, everybody over there. This is WA5EDX in beautiful Bluffdale, Texas. Tonight we're on the Lynn Legacy 520S. Barefoot, of course, and a D105 mic. To the old inverted V. Nothing new to hear today, except it was a beautiful day, and a lot cooler compared to Sunday. So I hope this hangs around a little bit until the next storm, until the next Monday storm blows through next week. So enjoying spring and grass starting to bloom. Red buds have been blooming a few days. So, and the birds are tweeting. And the little barn wrens are building nests under my carport in my tool drawer, so now I can't get at the tools without disturbing nature. But I don't know for sure. So back to you, Jay. WA5EDX for joining me. Thanks for calling in. Bye.
Okay, Byron. All righty, good deal. Sounded great as usual. You always get them things rolling. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. Sammy, W5DPP.
Well, I'm just sitting here listening. I don't have anything to add there, Jay. Good evening to everybody. W5DPP.
Well, all right. That'll work, though. We know you're there. Okay, Don, W5DK.
Yep. Well, good evening, Jay and everybody. This is Don in Spring Branch, the one in beautiful hill country, not the other one. And I'm just enjoying listening to everybody. Appreciate you running the net controls. I'm on my trusty dusty Drake station. It's the TR4 D104 microphone, an L4 amp, and out to a double extended ZEP antenna. So enjoying the net. Y'all, back to you, W5DK.
Man, you have an excellent signal and audio coming down here this evening, so congratulations. Well, you always do, but anyway. All right, Don, thank you, sir. Well, that brings me down to the end. Let me give Adolph a call one more time. WA5IGG. Adolph, are you back yet? He must have got called away. All right, Mr. Rusty, WK5R, it is your turn. KM5QS, passing it to you.
All right, KM5QS, WK5R, mighty fine there. Good evening, everybody. This is Rusty, WK5R. I'm on the usual stuff since don't have the repairs done to my Helicopters, HT-37. I'm on the TS590S, the Audio Technica microphone, driving the Homebrew GS35B into the Homebrew fan dipole at 50 feet, and that's where we stand. And before I throw it back out there, if Jim down there in Uvalde, KB5ZIV, is listening, I have your meter ready and in the box, and it will ship out to you tomorrow for that, I believe that's for Clipperton L, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, and I will send you an email with a little bit of explanation. And a bill. Hi. Anyway. All right, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
November 5 Papa Foxtrot.
Okay, N5PF. Go ahead, Phil.
Hello, Rusty and Jay and Glenn and all of you. Signal's not too great over here tonight over in Mississippi. I'm having trouble copying you guys. Got a lot of noise, and it picked up the last 15 minutes or so, but it hadn't got good yet. Kind of weak. Running a KWM2 with a SB200 shift, running about 600 watts to a stand dipole at 45 feet, and I got a 312B4 sitting here. That's the meter I'm using. My MSJ meter blew up, so I'm using the old Collins meter working just fine. It's just small. These old eyes don't see it real well. I'd rather have a larger meter, but that's okay. I can live with it. And that's about the story. And back to the net. Back to Rusty at 5 p.m.
Phil, your calling station sounds great as usual. Appreciate you checking in. We'll catch you next time. Okay, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Kilowatt Germany 5, Japan Lima.
K0 SCD. I already got two there. The Kilowatt Charlie 5, Japan Lima, I believe it was. Go ahead.
It's Kilowatt Germany 5, KG5JL. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I was on a little bit talking to some guys earlier, and I'm going to scoot out. My wife wants me to go to dinner. Fix dinner tonight. So I'm running a an old Yaesu FT890 right right now it's my test radio in the garage here, and I'm driving an old Alpha 374. I'm not putting out too much power, maybe about 800 watts, something like that. And let's see, I could throw it up a little bit. That's about 1,000 watts. Anyway, there you go. I've been working on a Drake R4B receiver on and off for the last month, and I finally got that thing working. It had a broken wire inside of it. Can you imagine that? They did a lot of solid wire in those radios, and I kept having this intermittent on it, but it took me a long time, but I finally found that thing. I was happy about that. Maybe I'll have that on the radio next week or so. That's all I got. Back to net control. KG5J, I'll handle the Bob.
Okay, Bob. Appreciate you checking in there. And even the modern rigs sound good too there. Now you might get better mind there and go eat your supper there, so you don't wind up with it. So the skillet stays on the stove and not on top of your head there. Catch you later. Okay, K0SED, Steve, go ahead.
Well, good evening, Rusty, and all your boat anchors. K0SED in Tyler, and again tonight I'm on a trusty old Kenwood 520, and a Collins 30L1 as I pull up 40-odd feet, and that's about it from Tyler. I've recovered from Milton, ready for another one. K0SED, back to you, Rusty.
Oh, ain't that a turn, Steve? Yep, 520 sounds good as usual there. All right. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Whiskey 5, Charlie, Uniform Lima.
Okay, I had a station, I think it was a Whiskey 5, and then it ended in Lima, but I didn't get the suffix. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Rusty. This is Whiskey 5, Charlie, Uniform Lima.
Oh, see you later. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Rusty, and good evening to everybody on the Boat Anchors Net. It's Whiskey 5, Charlie, Uniform Lima, and here is Mike out of Round Rock. And it's your first time on the Boat Anchors Net. It's Yaesu FT101, and I'm running barefoot. I don't have an amplifier attached to it just yet. But it's radiating 80 meter boost out the back yard. So, I think it might be good, might not be good. Not quite sure. If Rusty would let me know, I'd appreciate it. Back to you, Rusty.
Okay, Mike, I think you're down the band just a little bit because you're a little bit high pitched, but I did get everything. It seems to be working. Just a little off frequency there, Mike. Go ahead.
Okay, Rusty. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Give it back to the Boat Anchors.
Okay, you went the wrong way with it, but yeah, it did move in there. Appreciate you checking in there with the old Yaesu. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
N5, MOK.
What you got, Moki?
Oh, I checked in earlier, but somebody needs to know earlier, they were waiting on a sidewalk seal, tailgate seal, whatever. I just thought I'd mention that one coming up in Emory, north of Tyler. It's going to be at the fairgrounds there in Emory. The 23rd of this month, here in a couple of weeks or so, in Emory, Texas.
Oh, okay. Appreciate that. I've been there before, and I'll try to make that one again there. Maybe we'll see you there, Moki.
All right, N5, you're okay.
All right. Now, Moki says if any of you interested, there'll be a tailgate sale, a little bit of inside stuff there at the Range County Range County Fairgrounds. Wow, that is a tongue twister. I do not know. It's going to be on the 23rd of April, I believe, there. So if anybody are in the neighborhood, well, drop in and drop your tailgate. We'll see you there. All right. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Kilo 5 Sierra Alpha Charlie.
Kilo 5 Sierra Alpha Charlie. Go ahead.
Hello, I believe I'm talking to Rusty. This is Norman in Nederland, Texas, just south of Beaumont. Thought I'd make 2 weeks in a row checking in using the old Collins KWM2 30L1 and homebrew power supply. Inverted V-up homebrew all band 10 through 80, about 30 feet up in the air, and that's the story from here. 50-year-old equipment still works.
Hey, Rusty, can I talk to him a minute?
Yeah, you sure can there. Yeah, sure does there, Norman. Go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, hey, Norman, K5LY, and we used to talk to you forever, and we missed you for, 2 or 3 years around here. I always remembered your call, Strategic Air Command. Welcome back. We missed you.
I would have used that, those phonetics had I been in the military, but I would feel awful guilty doing it since I wasn't. Hey, thanks. It's nice to be missed, and I've listened lots of times. Just hadn't been checking in, and always glad to hear the Boat Anchors Unlimited still going strong. And there's been some fantastic equipment put together that I would have never dreamed up. Most of it's stuff that you're running. I enjoy hearing these concoctions that y'all come up with. It's completely different and just works great and sounds tremendous.
Well, great to hear you, Norman, and we don't make it so rare because we always enjoy hearing you. You always have a great signal. Back to you, Rusty.
70 degrees, Lynn.
Okay, Lynn, and Norman's made it 2 weeks in a row there, so maybe he get to be a regular again there. All right, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
W5OMR.
Oh, go ahead there, Jeff.
Hey, Rusty and everybody, good to hear y'all all. This W5OMR in Splendora, Texas. My name's Jeff, and I'm on an old Kenwood TS690, but it's not considered a boat anchor. I'm on the Drake L7 amplifier. That's got some age on it. I got sitting right to the right of that, the Viking 2, and I can get on with it real quick like. Now I got to turn it on, let it warm up. I'll do that and check back in. I'm feeding about 800 watts out to a Tentec Model 238 tutor, homebrewed open wire 600 ohm feed line to a full wave 75 meter delta loop up at about 65, 67 feet at the apex. And that's what we got going on here. Good to hear everybody on, and I'll check back in, Rusty, hopefully before you turn it over. Once I get the audio switched over on the Viking 2, and I'm using the 690 as a VFO, so it's frequency agile, as well as a receiver. I'll explain that in a bit. WK5R, W5OMR.
All right, Jeff, we'll holler back at you in a little bit there. If I don't get you, Lynn will pick you up. All right. Now, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Hi, Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey.
Okay, there we go. Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey, go ahead.
This is Whiskey Delta 5, Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey. The name is Rick, and I'm running a Swan 500CX, barefoot, about 350 watts to an infed half wave up about 30 feet. And this is the first time I believe I've checked into the net this evening. Over.
I believe you're right there. Where are you located?
I'm in Round Rock, Texas.
Oh, okay, Round Rock. All right. Yeah. Well, the Swan 500CX is sounding good there. Appreciate you checking in. Anything else from the net?
No, nothing else. I just wanted to get on board with the net and see how this thing was sounding. I just had it got started up here over the weekend. I had to put new finals in and a few things and tune it up a little bit, and I'm glad to hear it's working right. That's all. WD5FPW, back to net.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate you checking in there. All right. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Well, I didn't hear anybody. Jeff, did you get switched over?
No, not yet, Rusty, but I will shortly. I'm going to give me about 10 minutes.
Okay. Lynn or Jay will pick you up there because I think I've run my string dryer, fixed my pond dry there. Okay, K5LYN, WK5R. Go ahead there, Lynn.
Okay, Rusty. Well, we're efficient tonight. We're getting through a lot of check-ins in not that much time. How did I do? Am I still on your frequency?
Yeah, you're close enough. Go for it.
Okay. Well, close enough. I don't know if that's on your frequency or not, but I guess we'll live with it. All right. This is K5LYN. Lynn and Austin returning on the Central Electronics 10A, which went on the air for the first time in 1951. I always like to say that was when General Eisenhower, the hero of World War II, was figuring on being president someday. Let's see who else might be out there wants to talk boat anchors tonight. K5LYN, listening.
KC5L.
Hey, Tom, how are you doing?
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and Boat Anchors Net. This is Tom, KC5L in San Antonio. And how's my audio, by the way? Over?
Well, it sounds like it always does to me.
Roger, roger. Well, been trying to track down a cosmetic issue here with the limiter light. Been having problems where it would just come on continuously and not flicker on and off like it's supposed to. And one of the things I did was I swapped the tubes, the 6BL8s, between the audio limiter module and the audio filter module, and the problem went away. So I don't know what problem I introduced or may have introduced into the audio filter module by swapping the tubes, but everything seems to be working now, so maybe it was just a dirty socket or something. Anyhow, tonight we're on the usual here, the Central Electronics 200B with a D104 microphone, driving a 600L amplifier, Johnson KW Matchbox, and a homebrew doublet up about 15 feet, and we're listening on the R390A. And that's about all I have here this evening, Lynn, so back to you, KC5L.
Well, let's see if there's any chance Nick is still here. K5EF was here a while ago. Hey, Nick, are you still around by any chance? Well, I would check with him about that. When I had a 100B here, I had that same trouble, and what I did, I completely disabled that whole deal. I found the 100B and the 200B, I guess, is similar to that. When you have too many things like that that can tell you something is wrong, maybe just disable it because maybe nothing's wrong. And you sound great, Tom. Over.
Roger, roger. Well, the limiter light is purely cosmetic. It doesn't actually come on when any limiting has occurred. It just comes on when the audio reaches a point that's determined by a potentiometer in the circuit. And you can, ideally, that potentiometer is set so that it comes on when you're flipping at 3 dB, but it's a free-running circuit. So, yeah, it doesn't really do anything for the signal. It's just an idiot light for the front panel. But anyhow, it's working now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Lynn, go ahead.
Well, I agree. It's working just fine. Sounds great as always. And so I'm glad my 10A here doesn't have any of those things on it. Great to hear you, Tom. Anything else for the group this evening?
That's all I have. Go ahead.
All right, beautiful signal. That's what are we just two Central Electronic stations tonight? Where's some of our other guys? We'll keep listening here. All right, who else wants to talk boat anchors tonight? K5LYN, Austin calling and listening.
K500.
Talk to us.
Hello, Lynn, and everybody on the net. Name is Mike. I'm out here in southwest Travis County, about 6 miles out of Oak Hill on 290 West. Just got this TR4 running today, and hope it's on frequency. I haven't done an alignment on it or anything yet, but everybody's coming in really clear here. This thing's putting out about 150 watts. And it's going out to an 80-meter horizontal loop up about 15 feet. And I've got an Electro Voice 664 microphone. And hope this thing holds up until the end of the net. KF500, back to you, Lynn.
Okay, now, Mike, how many watts did you say it's putting out?
It's putting out about 150 to 175 watts.
Okay, yeah. I guess I didn't hear the 100 a while ago. Yeah, it's doing what it needs to do. Yeah, it sounds great. Remind us, what all did you have to do to it to get it up and running? It's doing a beautiful job.
Well, I picked this up in Belton. I don't know when. I actually think I bought it for a parts radio. And I thought, before I started scavenging parts off of it, I wanted to see what was wrong. When I plugged it in, it didn't receive, it didn't transmit. The tube lit up, but I had no audio. Turned out that the relay that was in it was stuck. So I took one out of my other TR4, put that in, and I started receiving. And then on transmit, it turned out to be, trying to think, one of the tubes was not transmitting, or was not operating. But anyways, got the tube replaced and the relay replaced, and seems to be working okay.
I think so. You know, I've had a couple of TR4s, and I think that's one of my favorite Drake pieces of equipment. Now, I've got an R4 receiver I'm listening to you on, and I've got the Drake L4B here, and I've got a room full of Drake 2B receivers. But the TR4, among their transceivers, I think that's the top of the line. Over.
Roger. Well, I'm enjoying it. I've got a TR3 and actually 2 TR4s now. You know, I'm looking forward to keeping this thing online. By the way, your station's sounding really good. I can't believe I can hear you as well as I can being so close to you. KI500.
Yeah. Well, you know, even locally there is some skip. Depending, we learned that when we get on AM, and we find out there's skip even locally because the signals come back to us out of phase. Whatever the case, Mike, you've done nice work on that, and I'll be curious to see how you come out on your TR3. I have one too, and the crystal filters on the TR3s are beginning to fail. It makes us sound like we're talking in a real high voice. If you find a solution to that, maybe you won't have that problem, but if you find a solution, keep me posted, okay?
Roger.
Hello, Land W1BG.
Okay, all right. Great to hear you, Mike. And let's talk to a friend of mine down in the Katy, Texas area. What do you say, Bill, K5LYN?
Oh, not a heck of a lot, Lynn. I was just spinning around the band, and I'd been on 16 and talking to George, and Jerry jumps in and stomps all over us and starts talking about pistols. So I grabbed the big dial on the front of the radio and moved. Here we are. How are you tonight?
Well, you're sounding great, Bill. Glad you're always welcome to join us here. You're here in my Central Electronics 10A from the year 1951. What do you make of it?
It sounds good. Really sounds good. Looks great on the scope tonight, Lynn.
Well, we spend a fair amount of time trying to keep it that way, and, once in a while we get it right. So thank you for your report. I know I appreciate your reports, Bill, because not everybody can give me as detailed a report as you do, and I really appreciate it.
Okay. Well, as I say, it looks real good. It sounds real good, and there's not really a lot more to say. We're just sitting here enjoying a ham radio tonight, and been working outside. Man, I tell you what, I have not worked in a long time, and been working on a fence today, and I think I'm going to pay dues tonight. When I probably not so much when I go to bed, but when I get up tomorrow morning, I think I'm going to be in trouble.
I understand that. When I have a day working outside, that catches up with us in the evening. Well, thank you for the report, and I can tell you that W9DYV, who built this radio in the basement of his house in Chicago in the year 1951, would certainly appreciate your comments, and I'm sure he's listening from high above us there. Anything else for this evening, Bill?
No, that's all there, Lynn. Go ahead and take your net, and we'll listen out here. W1BG.
Hey, Bill. Welcome. You're always welcome here, Bill. All right, who else for the net? K5LYN calling and listening.
Whiskey Delta 5, Alpha Delta Charlie.
Kilo November.
Okay, there's a couple in there. Hotel Kilo November. Talk to us.
Roger. KI5HKN. It's Bob from Pinehurst, Texas. On a TS820 sugar and about 176-foot wire. That's going through my little Versa tuner too. That's all I got. Maybe getting 80 watts out there into that wire. KI5HKN, back to the net.
All right, Bob. Nice signal into Austin. Have we ever talked to you before? The call doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, I popped in once or twice here and once on the Traders thing.
All right, we're glad you came by here. All right, there was somebody else that came in when Bill called me. Who was that? K5LYN.
Alpha Delta Charlie.
Alpha Delta Charlie. Yes, sir. Talk to us.
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, everybody on the net. Got home a little late, so I'm on my TS940 TL922 amp. Inverted V up about 30 feet in the backyard. I could see the Gonset was not going to settle down, so I'm on this thing.
Well, I share your concerns. I turned my station on at 2 o'clock, and we know that it's still moving around a little bit, but that's life, you know. And you're sounding great, louder than usual into Austin tonight. What? Any big difference?
Yeah, the TL922 amp's a little stronger than the. Let me see what I'm about 1,200 watts, something like that.
Well, it sounds great and a beautiful signal. So glad you came by.
Yeah, you sound good. And what radio are you on?
Central Electronics 10A from 1951.
You know, I've often thought about getting one of those. I'm working on it, and I don't know. I'd have to read up on them. But man, I tell you what, Lynn, I've run out of room. I have to sell something to have room to put anything else.
I share your concern. I've got one radio on the floor over there that does not have a place anywhere else. You know, but hey, you know, this is what we wanted, and we won't live forever. So get it while we can.
You got it. Okay, 7-3, Lynn.
All right. Hey, I've talked a long time. Jay, I better let the rest of you guys have it a while. KM5QS, K5LYN.
Oh, okay, Lynn. My ears are ringing. Rick like to blew my headphones off. Wow. Anyway, alrighty. And Bill, I'll catch up with you a little bit later. I've got a question about something, but I don't want to bring it up here. All right, this is Jake, KM5QS. That's Boat Anchors Unlimited. You got your vintage rigs fired up. Is there anyone else out there we haven't visited with that would like to check in? Come now.
Let's start with a little audio. W5OMR on AM.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, this is the Viking 2 transmitter, plate modulated, and I'm got the 160 meter capacitor kicked in, redipped it, brought the plate current way down. I'm driving about 14 watts into the Drake L7 for about a 200 watt carrier output, and it's 100% modulated. I always hope I have the audio adjusted right.
Yeah, you're fine. You sound you're completely legible. There's no there's just a little bit of hum, but that's because I'm hearing the carrier. I'm sure it's not objectionable. Sounds good.
We're using the Kenwood TS690 as a VFO input into the Viking 2 by using a pair of TR relays. I don't have the $300 and some odd to go out and buy the double pole single throw, you know, TR relay that they make, Dowkey makes. So I got 2 Dowkey relays. And then when it's relaxed, you know, the signal comes in through the receiver, through the tuner and the amplifier and then the TR relays and into the transceiver. When it's energized, the RF out of the 690 is shuttled over to the VFO input of the Viking 2. RF comes out of the Viking 2, goes into another TR relay, and the output of that goes to the Drake L7 and the tuner and out to the antenna. So that's how we're able to do everything with just flipping one switch now. And I kind of like it better than push and talk. I don't have to hold a button down. So I won't hold it long. That's just about it. Johnson Viking 2 VFO powered by Kenwood TS690. Driving that into a Drake L7 for 200 watts of carrier, maybe 250, something like that, into a full wave loop antenna. KM5QS and all the boat anchors. W5OMR Splendora.
Okay, Jeff. Yeah, I accidentally doubled with you a little bit a minute ago, but it sounds fine. Completely understandable. I could hear the carrier, but of course it's because I'm on sideband, but it's no big deal. It was not objectionable. Audio was fine. Your modulation was good. Clear copy, 100%, no problems.
Comment, K5LYN.
Yeah, go ahead, Lynn.
I think it sounds great, Jeff. Spectacular work on your part. Back to you.
Well, I got a couple of more things planned. I really don't like putting the 160 meter cap in because when I redip the final doing that, of course, you know, on the Viking 2 it dips at about 20. When I put that in, it dips at about 90. and the plate current goes down to about 50. So we get about 14 watts out, but 630 or 40 watts of volts on the plates. But what I'm concerned about is the screen current on the final. It says I'm not drawing nearly as much plate current. So in order to get the DC off of the secondary of the modulation transformer, I have a couple of old Carcass vacuum tubes in there, and I'm going to cannibalize out the modulation transformer from one of them and see if I can fit it up underneath the chassis and mount it and just parallel the secondaries. That'll let me have just half of the current in the final that's being drawn by the pair of 6146s and enough room in the secondary of the modulation transformer for more audio to pass, and kind of straighten out the hysteresis line in that transformer, Lynn. Go ahead.
Well, nicely done, Jeff, and glad you came by with that. Okay, Jay, back to you. Thanks for letting me butt in. K5LYN.
No problem. Yeah, good work, Jeff. Yeah. That's what it works. That's what counts. All right. Is there anyone else that we haven't talked to yet that would like to check in with Boat Anchors Unlimited? Well, we may have fished the pond dry, at least down this perspective anyway. Rusty, you want to see if there's anyone you can pick up?
Well, I'll check to see if there's anyone left, and if not, I guess I'll go ahead and tie the ribbon on it. What do y'all think?
Oh, that's probably a good idea. Oh, let me ask something. Bill, W1BG, are you still here? That's okay. I'll catch up with him later. Go ahead, Rusty.
All right. This is WK5R. We're on our last round on the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Is there anybody else out there that wants to check in before we close the net? Come now. Last call for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Come now. Well, I believe you're right, Jay. All right. We appreciate everybody checking in there, because Lynn, Jay, myself, and a bunch of the others out there know what it takes to keep these things on the air and keep them going. We'll look for y'all next week. So this is WK5R, now closing this section of the Boat Anchors Unlimited net and returning the frequency to normal amateur abuse. WK5R.
Spectacular net, K5LYN.
Yes, sir. We had 32 check-ins, not counting, 33 if you want to count Jeff twice.
Oh,
yeah,
I think we count Jeff 3 or 4 times.
Well, I've lost weight.
Yeah, come on up the band there a little bit, Jay.
Oh, that was a triple.